Julius Robert Oppenheimer, a renowned physicist from the United States, gained prominence as the primary figure behind the development of the atomic bomb. Serving as the director of the Manhattan Project, he led an extensive team of scientists dedicated to creating this formidable military weapon, ultimately employed by the US during World War II. Witnessing the devastating consequences of his invention, Oppenheimer deeply regretted his contribution to the loss of thousands of human lives. You're in the Random Channel, so let me tell you this story. Born on April 22, 1904, in New York, Robert hailed from an affluent Jewish family. His father, a German residing in the US, amassed wealth through the sale of textile materials. With a refined education, Oppenheimer studied mathematics, sciences, Greek and French literature. He graduated in 1925 from Harvard University with the highest honors. Just 2 years later, at the age of 22, he earned a doctorate from the University of Göttingen in Germany, contributing to significant advancements in quantum physics. Returning to the United States, he continued his studies and taught at the University of Berkeley, becoming an authority in theoretical physics and playing a fundamental role in advancing research across various scientific fields. In the early 1940s, Oppenheimer was invited by the United States to join the Manhattan Project, dedicated to creating the atomic bomb. The push to develop this mass destruction weapon gained momentum after physicists Albert Einstein and Leo Szilard warned the US government about the possibility of Nazi Germany creating nuclear weapons. In 1942, Oppenheimer assumed leadership of the secretive project, coordinating a vast team of approximately 125,000 people in various areas, with most unaware that they were contributing to the construction of a nuclear weapon. He ordered the construction of research centers in the desert of Los Alamos, New Mexico. After intense efforts, on July 16, 1945, the first experimental explosion of the atomic bomb, named Trinity, occurred. The experimental bomb was so powerful that it eclipsed the sun and created a shockwave felt 160 kilometers away. According to those close to Oppenheimer, as he witnessed the potency of the bomb he had created, he became increasingly depressed, knowing what was about to happen. A month after the test, on August 6 and 9, 1945, American aircraft dropped 2 bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The first was called Little Boy, and the second was named Fat Man. The detonation of these nuclear devices resulted in the genocide of over 300,000 people in the 2 cities, with both immediate and long-term deaths caused by radioactive effects. Faced with the destruction of the Japanese cities, Oppenheimer distanced himself from the Manhattan Project and led the Advisory Committee of the Atomic Energy Commission from 1947 to 1952. He expressed opposition to the use of nuclear weapons, particularly the hydrogen bomb, and advocated for the end of the arms race between the US and the Soviet Union. However, his efforts were in vain, and due to his statements, Oppenheimer was barred from accessing documents and lost part of his influence. Accused of communist sympathies, he became a target of McCarthyism, considered a traitor to the US government. The physicist deeply regretted contributing to the development of such a lethal weapon, lamenting the deaths of thousands of people. Realizing the consequences of the atomic bomb, Oppenheimer quoted a line from the Hindu sacred text Bhagavad Gita in an interview. "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." In the mid-1930s, Oppenheimer also met physicist and psychiatrist Jean Tatlock, 1914 to 1944, whom he fell in love with. According to Bird and Sherwin, Tatlock had a character as complex as Oppenheimer's. She was largely understood and driven by her social conscience. A childhood friend described Tatlock as having been touched by greatness. Oppenheimer proposed to Tatlock more than once, but she declined. It's believed that she introduced him to radical politicians and the poetry of Englishman John Donne, 1572 to 1631. The two continued to see each other occasionally after Oppenheimer married biologist Catherine Kitty Harrison, 1910 to 1972 in 1940. Harrison would work with Oppenheimer on the Manhattan Project as a phlebotomist, researching the dangers of radiation. Robert Oppenheimer passed away on February 18, 1967, succumbing to throat cancer related to his smoking habit. Diagnosed in 1965, he underwent surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation therapy, but unfortunately, he did not survive, leaving us at the age of 62. In 2023, Oppenheimer's story was brought to life in a film starring the actor famous for portraying Tommy Shelby in the Peaky Blinders series, Cillian Murphy, with outstanding performances from Florence Pugh, Gene Tatlock, Robert Downey Jr., Louis Strauss, Gary Oldman, Harry S. Truman, and others. The movie effectively narrates the historical account. Helmed by director Christopher Nolan, the film boasts jaw-dropping special effects. The movie achieved an impressive box office revenue nearing the $1 billion mark at $953.8 million USD. This dramatic masterpiece is vying for an impressive 13 categories at the 96th edition of the Academy Awards. It's up for awards such as Best Picture, Best Director for Christopher Nolan, Best Actor for Cillian Murphy, Best Supporting Actress for Emily Blunt, Best Supporting Actor for Robert Downey Jr., and Best Adapted Screenplay for Christopher Nolan, among others. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed it and want more videos like this on the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me check here. Anne, you subscribed? That's awesome. It really helps me out, guys. Until next time.